Now, before we get to some things that came up in the show this morning, let's talk about Danny Dunaresque and his press conference where he gave a bunch of information stating essentially what he considers to be gross negligence at Newfoundland Labrador Hydro. It's all about dirty oil coming in, he says, to the facility at Holyrood starting back in January of 2013. If you remember, we had some issues with the generating capacity there at that time, and he's suggesting that this was all because we started getting our oil from another supplier, and it had higher levels of silica. And what else was it? I got all this information here. Aluminum and silicon. And he says this is what was responsible for the damage and loss of generating capacity. And he says that not only did the oil come at the worst possible time, but that they kept getting it. They kept purchasing it and buying it. They didn't stipulate the levels that were acceptable and didn't have what was coming in tested, and continued to bring it in, and the levels tested eventually to be well beyond what they know to be safe. Here's the 4 points that he brought out in his press release. Hydro decided to change suppliers at the worst possible time of year. Hydro failed to stipulate the requirement for safe levels of known contaminants, namely aluminum and silicon. Hydro failed to abide by its own contract stipulation and offloaded over $50 million worth of fuel without proper testing for these metals, which could have been done within 8 hours. And after knowing the serious effect this dirty fuel was having on its operation, it further authorized another $50 million of fuel delivery without any testing, and subsequently knowing that it was equally dirty. And in here somewhere it says that as late as June in 2013, the fuel in a tank was tested. Here we go. The day tank, whatever that is. Samples taken from the day tank in June 2013, which feeds directly into the diesel generating system, confirmed a combined total of 2,348 parts per million, nearly 500 times the max acceptable level. So, what do you think? Is this a big deal, or is it going to be explained away? I had a brief conversation with somebody who actually works there, and they say that yes, indeed, the oil coming in at a particular time was dirtier, and they had to do extra cleaning of these guns, they call them, or burners. There's like filters or something at the end, or jets or something. Anyway, he said they had to clean them out. They're always cleaning them. They're cleaning them constantly, but they had to sort of up the frequency at that time, but he was at a loss as to whether or not this was the entire problem with the equipment at Holyrood. So we're going to be talking about that. I do believe Mr. Dunaresque is going to be calling into the program, so we look forward to his call to see what else he has to say about it.